Hey all, old guy, old camera. Welcome to the Old Guy Mobile Studios again in beautiful downtown, well, not quite downtown, Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. This will be the sort of finale of the last video and the beginning of the next video. So as you recall from our last video, we took out an old folding medium format camera, the Rollfix Jr., and took some pictures out on the beach in Delaware. And got some pictures. Film worked, camera worked. A little disappointed because the pictures just aren't that good. I mean, they're fine. The contrast was really low. The lab guy even said as much, that the contrast was very low, and I don't know if that's because I might have slightly overexposed them. The other thing is when you're using a standard lens, you know, not a wide angle, not a telephoto, it's hard to really get a good perspective that's interesting to the eye, you know, because, you know, our eyes see unmagnified. The 50 millimeter, or any kind of standard lens sees what our eyes see, and it's just, I don't want to say it's boring, but it's just what we see every day. The reason that if you see shots from the drone footage, camera, still pictures, it's amazing, because it's an angle that we've never seen before. You know, low altitude photos of things that we walk past every day, it's just an angle we can't see. And when you do see it, it's just like, ooh, look at all that. But with a standard camera lens with no magnification, no wide angle, it's just, you know. And that's what these pictures were. You know, there's some pictures of some boats that were sitting around, and you know, I was really just trying to finish a roll. Oh, if you recall, I did a double exposure. Whoop. There's my double exposure, where I forgot to wind the film after I took the shot, and I recocked the shutter and shot another one. So you can see the ghost image of the vertical, and then here's the horizontal shot. So that's kind of a waste. It wasn't that interesting. There's my train. That particular camera, the Rollfix, the awkward thing about it was the viewfinder was awful. It wasn't through the lens, it's just a little window to the side, so when you're looking through it, you actually, some of the lens, the bellows is blocking your view. And it's until you know, if you use the camera all the time and got to know it, you'd probably have a better feel of what you were actually shooting. There was a couple of sets of borders inside the viewfinder for the square format and the rectangular format, and we were doing the rectangular format, so I basically had these dark bars in the way of what I was trying to line up. So it was really awkward. It's a neat camera, it works. Again, why the pictures aren't very contrasty. The video, you know, the sky is very vivid in the video, and some pictures I shot with my phone, just phone camera shots, the sky is much bluer. It was at the lab. The film wasn't expired, it was new Kodak film. Maybe just Kodacolor 200 just really isn't all that great, I don't know. Or old, you know, again, it was a lower end model, so maybe that lens, I mean, a good quality lens will make a more contrasty, sharper image than a low quality lens, especially one that's really old. I don't think there was any fungus or any, you know, haze on the lens. I didn't see any. You know, my negatives are sort of, you know, they're kind of dense, some of them, so maybe I overexposed a bit, and that might have something to do with the low contrast. But you know what? I took a 70-year-old camera, put some brand new film in it. I was able to fiddle with the camera first to see that it worked, and we talked about some of that in some of my other videos, how to see if a camera actually works enough to use. So for my next video, I'd really like to take some pictures that were actually interesting and, you know, pleasing to the eye, and where you would say, hey, the old guy knows how to take a picture that's halfway interesting. So my goal very soon is to take some decent pictures. to share on my YouTube channel. Now for my next video, or my next shoot of old guy, old camera, I'm going to go with something not really much more modern. I mean, this is from the early 70s. This is a Nikon Nikromat. This was sort of the, you know, if you're a Nikon snob, don't quote me, but I want to say this was sort of the base Nikon camera back in the early 70s. I've got a neat picture of the entire Nikon family of a certain time period, and I will take a picture of that and show you. It's hanging up in my man cave. I got that. It was a promotional photo from a camera shop, you know, from years ago, and I ended up with it, and I have treasured it. I was never really a Nikon person for years and years and years. I had Minoltas and Olympus cameras, just because they were cheaper, and you know, they're good cameras. I got to like them, and I just, once you start working in a system, you know, you don't just, back then, whenever, you know, something like to get a new SLR and a new lens, you're looking at $300 or $400 minimum at the time. And then if you wanted the telephoto lens and you wanted the wide angle lens and you wanted a flash, well, you're looking at $1,500, $2,000 for a good quality set. So once you were into something, a line of cameras, you didn't just switch. I didn't.